expect that he's then still going to be available to start?
Yep, feels great, and he'll be in there to start. Excited to have him back.
Frank, just anything more that you can add on what these last couple of weeks have been like throughout the buildup, what you were expecting to see in yesterday's practice specifically, and just how he looked to you, how close to kind of that full game speed he is?
Yeah, I mean, he still needs to get his legs under him, as to be expected. You can't simulate NBA action on the practice floor. So that's what tonight is going to be about. That's going to what the next few games are going to be about. So we anticipate him having some rust and working through his rhythm and timing while getting his legs under him. But this is an important first step for sure.
And Frank, you had mentioned 15 minutes as a target. Would you see that as in 2 stints, like first and third, or 3 stints, or is that something you'll determine once the game gets going?
Yeah, we're going to play him in the first half only. Again, the biggest thing for Anthony is the return to play happening the right way. You know what I mean? And ideally, we have 2, 3, 4 practices before he's thrown into an NBA game. We don't have that, so we're going to be super careful with his return to play, and he'll use all those 15 minutes in the first half.
And then, Frank, just how do you see that impacting the matchup and trying to piece together other lineups against the Dallas team, of course, led by Luka?
Yeah, these guys are tough to slow down. They're an explosive offense, and we'll have 2 different looks from first half to second half. First half, obviously, with Anthony being a big part of it, and Keith's going to be the guy that feels it the most. As he'll not be in the starting lineup, and he may be in there for shorter stints than he's used to. But come second half, Keith will start the second half, and we'll look very similar to the way we've looked over the last few weeks.
Algun.
Hey Frank, do you anticipate this 15-minute first half restriction for AD being in place for multiple games? Is this game gonna tell you how much it's able to kind of inch up for next game?
Yeah, it'll be game to game, but we're hoping not to have a restriction for a real extended period of time. But again, we just have to evaluate, see how he feels tonight.
Dan Warkey.
Hey, Frank. Anthony told us yesterday that when this injury happened the second time in Denver, that, he had felt a pain he had never felt before. I think he described it as a ripping. I know you've coached through this stretch as not trying to think about, you're just kind of dealing with what's right ahead of you, I guess, is how you've gone through it. But have you reflected at all on just like how serious this could have been? And did you feel relief at any point during this that it wasn't as bad as maybe it looked, or even how it could have possibly gone that first night?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think when it first happened, that's when you're worried the most. And, when we received good news the next day with the MRI, we felt like this is going to be something that was under control. And, at that point, I didn't really worry about, what could have been. We're just excited that, it was something that was going to be manageable, and he would be back with us this year. And at that point, you turn your focus on the next stretch of games.
Bill Oram.
Frank, what is this kind of race? I mean, do you view this kind of as a race against time and LeBron and kind of their timelines to kind of get up to speed before the playoffs arrive? And then how confident are you that they will both have time to go through the full ramp up, be able to be at 100% by the first round?
Yeah, I don't think it's an ideal situation by any stretch from a standpoint of those guys returning from injury, having enough time to get get their conditioning and rhythm and timing where it needs to be. Nor is it enough time to integrate a main piece like Andre Drummond with those guys. But it's just going to be an imperfect season. This is the hand that we're dealt, and we have to make the best of it.
We'll take a few more. Chuck.
Hey, Frank. I was just wondering, just from the outside, being in Dallas, how you have been able to maintain your team's defensive posture without, obviously, 2 guys that are more than capable of changing games defensively by themselves. And with guys that in the past, haven't necessarily before they got to you really been known for their defense. How have you gotten them to buy in as much as you have?
Well, I think we established a culture last year of being a defensive-minded group, and it doesn't matter what 5 guys are on the floor. They're going to execute at a high level on that side of the ball, and there's going to be a high care factor, high level of accountability. And, and in particular, the biggest thing with this group is, we knew when those 2 guys went down that we were going to have to win with defense, without our 2 elite scorers in there. So, I think they took a challenge upon themselves, to compete and try to win games on the defensive end. And they've done a good job. It's not always been perfect. It was definitely not good last game. And we got to tighten the screws again tonight.
Daniel Mercado.
Yes, coach. What is the plan for today to stop Luka in the defensive end?
We're thinking about kidnapping him. Kidnapping him, and he doesn't get to play. That's probably the best way to stop him. I don't know if there's any other way to stop him, but we're going to try to compete as best as we can on the ball with him. Minimize how many double teams we bring because of their great 3-point shooting support system, and hopefully keep everything under control and slow down. Understanding that we can't stop a player like Luka.
Thank you.
Gonzalo. Gonzalo, you can go ahead.
Coach, will it be difficult to adjust the rotation and the minutes when all the players are available?
The rotation with you talking about Anthony?
Yes, when Brown and AD are back.
Yeah, when those guys are back, everybody will fall into more of a natural role. I feel like over the last few weeks to a couple of months with Anthony's case, guys have done a good job competing in a situation where they've been asked to do more than they're used to. And, credit our guys for battling through that. But looking forward to having those guys back for sure.
All right, last one, a follow-up from Kyle.
Hey, Frank, you've done a couple of these, 2-game series. Does this one with Dallas, based on where they are in the standings, a team that could catch you and affect your seeding, does that take on any more importance when you talk to your guys? Is there sort of a playoff light feel to these next two games for you guys?
Yeah, I think there is a little bit of that. We understand what the standings look like, but our guys have had the mindset that it doesn't matter who's in front of them. We need to win as many games as we can during this stretch, and we bring maximum effort every night, whoever's in front of us. So, to ask them to ramp it up even more because of a seeding situation, wouldn't be appropriate. Our guys are going to bring it no matter what.
Good there, Frank. Thank you.
Yeah.